is your reaction to all of this?
Skip, I don't want to get too much into what Zeke said. Zeke said what he said. I think Zack Martin's resume speaks for itself. Zack Martin and Marshall Yanda was the all-decade guards of the 2010s. So Zack Martin's resume is impeccable. So we don't need to question how good is he? Is he really that good?
I'd say one day he will have a bust near yours.
Yes, most of the guys on the all-decade team, at some point in time, they end up in Canton.
Yep.
Let's take Jerry Jones at what he said. There's no better opportunity to step up and be David versus Goliath. Hold on. This is the team that has the third best roster. They have one of the 2 or 3 best receiving core, one of the top 5 offensive line. Mike McCarthy actually said on Hard Knocks, he's never seen a defense flip as fast as this one. And now they're David. The team, America's team, the team that had that's more valuable than any other team in sports.
In the world.
In the world, not just American sports, the world, all these football or soccer teams.
Yep.
The Cowboys are worth more. Every year, Stephen and Jerry Jones trot out there in front of a microphone and says, you know what? We have as much talent as those Super Bowl teams. I don't remember. It's just so very fortunate for me, Skip. I was in the league. You were covering them. 92, 93, 95. Did anybody ever say the Cowboys were David? The Cowboys was always Goliath. They went to the game expecting to win. Now Jerry, after he done ran his mouth all offseason to talk about how good it is, now he David. Nah, y'all gonna take this butt cutting. No, Jerry, I'm not gonna let you out of this one. Anything can happen on any given Sunday, but on this particular day, it happens to be a Thursday. Anything can happen, Skip. But I don't know why Jerry would sell his team short. You did all this talking. You got the championship pedigree. Hold on. How you gonna be David when you tell everybody the preseason is overrated? We don't need preseason. We so good, we don't even need that. Dak, I think it's overrated, Skip. That's what Jerry said.
He said that.
Now, all of a sudden, he David going against Goliath. Why would he do it? Why would your team do this? Say this, Skip Bayless. You ought to be embarrassed. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. You ought to call Jerry out, which I'm hoping you do, talking about the Dallas Cowboys is David.
Okay, my turn. For once, you have me proverbially over a barrel. You have my back up against the wall at this moment. But fortunately, the season hasn't yet started. But right here, right now, you got me. I am at your mercy. It's like our Lil Wayne sings, "No mercy." I'm asking for some mercy today. I will admit, when I glanced down at my computer and saw this headline, it was like the last thing in the world I expected to see. Of all the Cowboys, other than Dak Prescott, if you said, pick another one that you don't want to lose, I'd say, that guy. And so when I saw this, Ernestine happened to be walking by, my wife Ernestine, as I was at my computer, and my head just sort of hit the computer, and she said, "What happened?" I said, "Oh, you won't understand." She said, you act like you just lost Hazel, our dog, like I just lost my dog. Well, it's not that bad, but Zack Martin, to me, is a big deal because the line appeared to be back. They actually started the third preseason game and played for like 2 plays, and they took him out. But they had Ty Smith and Zack Martin, Lyle Collins actually went out there together on the football field and got in their stances for like 3 plays and played football. And it was a sight for sore eyes. So when I saw this, it hit me the wrong way because sometimes a season just isn't meant to be, where it just gets off on the wrong foot, and then this happens, and that happens, and this happens, and that happens. Well, unfortunately, last year felt that way to me because I lost all those guys at certain points in the season, and then in Game 5, I lost my quarterback. And it was just this long, ugly struggle of still hanging in there in the NFC least, where you actually think, maybe we still, and it was just not meant to be, because I remind you, it went all the way down to Thanksgiving Day at Jerry World, and the rivals from Washington visited, and they had embarrassed us at Washington, as you recall, when Andy Dalton almost literally got his head knocked off.
Knocked your quarterback out.
Knocked him out. And in that game on Thanksgiving, we stopped them and forced them to punt. And I was like, yeah, here we go. And here we went. And Andy Dalton goes boom, 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 boom down the field. But Zack Martin had come back.
Right.
And you could just see the line just blowing off the ball and creating just super highways. And I'm thinking, okay, we got this, because they sort of go as Zach goes, because he's a force.
Right.
And they all know it, and they just feed off him.
Right.
And as Zeke said in his quote, all the avenues that he follows, it's always behind that guy. It's behind that right guard.
Correct.
And remember what happened? It got all the way down to 3rd and 5 at the Washington 15, and Zack Martin got hurt again. He got hurt again.
Yep.
He pulled his calf muscle. And as you know, you pull a calf, if you really pull it, it's just, you can barely limp around.
Right.
So he was done. That was the end of him for that season. And that was the beginning of the end of my Cowboys, because they had to take a field goal there. So it's 3-0 Dallas, and they kind of hung in. They actually hung in for 3 quarters. Then they get outscored 21-0 in the 4th quarter.
Right.
And it ends up like 40-something to 10, and I can't even remember because it's too painful to remember. So my first thought, what I told Ernestine is this a sign that this is just not meant to be? Then yesterday, I just happened to glance at the point spreads for this coming week's, the opening slate of the NFL games. And I already knew that I was curious, is my spread going to change? Is Zack Martin big enough to change the spread? Not yet, because my team is still a 7.5-point underdog at the defending champs.
Which is tied for the most, right?
At GOAT. I don't know. I didn't really look all the way down, but it could be.
Close.
Well, it well could be. I'm surprised it hasn't crept up a little bit more. But the other spread that really caught my eye and shot me right in the heart was I saw the Chargers spread at the team you picked to win the least, the Washington football team, and the Chargers are favored in that game. Why does that apply to what I've been saying? Because I've been telling you, I don't even care about at Tampa Bay on Thursday night. I only care about I'm on to the Chargers, because they need to win that game to be 1-1, and then we'll be okay.
Well, they're going to be favored against you
Okay,
guys.
well, that's what I said. That shocked me, because I respect Washington. I don't really respect their quarterback, but he has his moments. And I'm surprised, and I was laughing at you the other day for having picked Washington with Fitzmagic at quarterback, because you don't trust him. And you told me on a scale of 1 to 10, trust factor, you're at a 3.
Yep.
A 3, and you picked him to win the division?
Yeah.
You must have zero respect for my team, right?
Well, I just know that the Cowboys going to monkey it up at some point in time.
All right. So my point is, I always try to guess the spread. I reveal them after I guess. And I thought Washington would be a 3-point favorite at home, because their defense is just hellacious, especially that front 7.
Right.
I can't argue. I got nothing on that, because they are really good. And their skill weapons are...
McLaurin and Samuel.
It is some
Logan
serious
Thomas,
business, and that little running back just destroyed us last year. So I'm thinking, and McKissick is really good too, so they got a 1-2 sort of thunder lightning. And I'm thinking, wait a second, the LA Chargers are favored by 1.5, and I'm saying we'll just go get the Chargers in week 2 and be okay? And now I'm saying, wait a second, are we going to be 0-2? Because history would scream at you at 0-2, you cannot make the playoffs.
Right.
Well, all you have to do is win the division to make the playoffs, and I still think my team will win the division fairly easily. But I don't know about this, and so now I'm already looking down the schedule to a Monday night game, which is Philly at Jerry World, as our first W. And then comes Carolina at home, our second W. And then come the Giants at home, our third W. So maybe I got to do it upside down. Maybe I got to go get to 3-2 after losing the first 2 games, because maybe I am underrating just how deep and talented the Chargers are with their golden-armed young quarterback.
Well, obviously, Skip, Zack Martin is a big deal, considering the Tampa Bay Buccaneers led the league in rush defense. And you talk about Vita Vea, you talk about Sue. So obviously, if Zack Martin is your best offensive lineman, he's out. Obviously, there's a great chance you guys are going to struggle running the football. The last thing that you want to do against Tampa Bay is what? Have them pin their ears back and come get you, a la what we saw in the Super Bowl when they knew you can't run the football. They knew you weren't going to run the football. So now Shaq Barrett, JPP, even Sue can just pin their ears back, come get your quarterback. That's what you don't want to have happen, Skip, but you're in that position. Again, in the regular season game, Lyle Collins, Zack Martin, and Tyron Smith haven't played together since December of 2019. Remember, Lyle Collins missed all of last year. He missed the last 2 weeks, Skip, with a stinger situation. So
they say he's okay, but go ahead.
Right. And Tyron Smith is coming back.
Yep.
Zack Martin is out. So there's a great chance you guys are going to struggle running the football. Struggle running the football, now that puts more pressure on your pass offense, your offensive line. Do you really want to sit back there and try to have Dak throw the ball, considering he missed 5 weeks with a shoulder injury from throwing? Say, Jack, sorry, bro, but we're going to need you to throw the ball 40, 50 times today. Good luck with that.
Well, maybe you'll have to do that to keep up with a Tom Brady who is destroying a young, rebuilt defense that's not ready for this prime time.
Right.
Right?
So with that being said, Skip, I'm waiting on you to talk about Jerry and how he compared you guys to David.
First, Zeke. I keep waiting for Zeke to emerge as the team leader. In Hard Knocks, I'm seeing a different side of Zeke. It's this goofy, giddy, silly Zeke on the sidelines.
Right.
But at least it's a happy Zeke.
Right.
And he also talked yesterday, I think, to the Dallas Morning News about how he has lost 10 pounds. We've been talking
right.
about it. And I think it's a legit, he lost 10 pounds.
Right.
He said he had to have all of his suits retailored.
Right.
Got it. Great. He looks like a football player now.
Yeah,
he looks
good.
like a running back. Maybe year 6 is the magic year for him to bounce back. And I've been telling you all along, this is his time to shine, to prove, because I think his pride has been so battered because he fell all the way down to 65 yards a game last year.
Right.
That now he is on an even hotter seat than Dak is on to me. Mm-hmm. But he's also on a hot seat to emerge as the co-team leader alongside his best friend, Dak Prescott.
Okay.
This is not a team leadership quote. To refer to Zack Martin as the best player on the offense, you are kidding me. Now, if you really know the score on that offense, he is the second best player. But he's not the first best because the quarterback is. And no matter how best he is, you can't say it publicly. It's got to be next man up. It's got to be, we'll be fine without him.
That guy going to the Hall of Fame. Ain't no next guy up in that situation with Zack Martin.
No, but I'm saying you can't say he's the best player on the offense because it sends a signal to all your teammates, we got no chance now.
No, Jerry did that.
Okay, no, Zeke did that. Zeke said we got no chance basically by saying he's the best player on our offense. You don't need to say a word about losing Zack Martin except that we'll be fine, we'll get ready. Connor McGovern, who's a young player last year who got bounced all around the line, he belongs at right guard, but he's about a third of what Zack Martin is, right?
So he got Sue and Vita Vea.
Okay, that's who he's probably sue a whole lot, right in his face. And I dread it. But Zeke can't say it, which brings me to Jerry Jones.
Okay.
What did I tell you all last week about the only chance this team has? To me, on paper, this is a complete and utter mismatch. Yeah. I have declared to you for weeks on this show that this is going to be 35-10 in favor of the defending champs, who I think should be prohibitive favorites to win the championship this year. And I think they have a great shot at going 17-0. That's what I believe. You don't. We're going to talk about that more definitively in just a moment. But my point is, this team is primed to be all-time great because it's going to be even better than it was last year because they did get some preseason games. It's not Tom Brady's start over first year with a brand new offense and new coaching staff and new teammates. Right. So that they want to show the world that they were no fluke in the Super Bowl because it was at home, obviously. So this is wrong place, wrong time for my Cowboys. Well, the only way I kept telling you for my Cowboys to pull this off is to sneak up on them, to be quiet about it, to lay in the weeds and just hope that everything came together and clicked and that Tampa didn't take you seriously enough. But when Jerry starts talking about David is going to go slay Goliath, you're laughing because you say, well, it's America's team. But I'm not laughing because you're sending the signal to Tom Brady, we are going to come in there and hit you right between the eyes with a slingshot rock, right between the eyes. And Goliath, the giant Goliath, is going to keel over and fall on his back on national TV. Right. Well, you can't say that either. And I never know when Jerry's kidding or not. He loves to try to be funny and quotable and witty and glib, because he wants to be the face of the franchise.
Correct.
So he can't stop talking and trying to outdo himself. But in this case, you're just sending another signal to Tom Brady, who doesn't need any more signals because we know what Osa did the rookie Osa from UCLA, right?
Yeah.
He just said he's not mobile,
Right.
Okay, well,
And plus he's gotten a little older.
yeah, he's older and he's not mobile. Well, you just don't need to say it. If you think it, that's fine. If you want to use it for your fodder, that's fine. But you can't tell that guy he's not mobile because he's just going to shake his head and you're going to bring the psycho Tom out in him. Well, similar to Jerry saying, we're going down there, little tiny David to slay Goliath. Well, Brady's going to shake his head and say, what? I'm going to shut all you guys up because trust me, off camera, you don't get the lame, cliched, nice guy next door Tom Brady.
No.
You get the guy who's going to F-bomb it and say, okay.
I'm really hoping Tom feels this way because I'm looking forward to Dallas Bishop Sycamore, Dallas. Oh, my bad, Skip. I'm really hoping that they do what IMG Academy did to that other online school.
So you just compared my team to a phony team, like a false team, like a team that didn't even have a school?
Oh, I said that out loud, Skip?
Yes, you did.
I was thinking that was subconscious.
Now, that's what I need, actually. I need that kind of talk to maybe get my guys revved up a little bit.
There you go, get your guys more revved up than those guys. Skip, it's opening night. It's Thursday. There's nothing else going on. There's nothing else going on. You guys been doing all that talking. Remember you on Hard Knocks? You wanted Hard Knocks.
I did.
Jared was talking about how...
I thought it was a launching pad for my team. My team belongs on Hard Knocks every year.
Failure to launch.
Yep. Okay.
Your team.
All right. You're probably right. But every word that comes out of their mouth only undoes any chance they have. That's all.
No. Had. They don't have. Had.
Well,
past tense, Skip. You're an English major.
I know, but the odds makers keep saying they're hanging right in there at 7.5. 7.5.
Skip, this the NFL. They got pros. Last I checked, I think Dallas got pros. They might not have any. But you talking about 7.5? America's team is a 7.5 point dog? Really?
So in their final preseason game, I watched Tom Brady just go up and down the field and throw for 154 yards in the preseason.
Yep.
And I watched Jerry Jones, as you pointed out a few minutes ago, say, nope, we're not going to play anybody.
Right.
And Zeke was talking about, well, I'm down 10 pounds, but it'll be interesting to see what happens when I start running into people. He hasn't run into anybody. He really didn't run into many people last year. So this will be his first contact.
Right.
This will be Dak's first game in close to a year of real live football.
Yep.
He even missed a lot of the padded practices.
He
missed the joint scrimmage with the Rams.
Yeah.
He missed all that.
Yep.
So, like I say, wrong place, wrong time against the wrong team. You are at GOAT. This is the greatest player in the history of this league. I know you don't think that, but I do.
I'll think it for Thursday. That's what I need him to be.
Yep.
Greatest all time against the Cowboys.
Really?
Against Dallas Sycamore. We're going to be straight.
Okay, Dallas Sycamore. That's the only thing that I've heard over the last 3 weeks that could motivate my team.
Skip, your team is up. First of all, who's going to say it? You want Mike McCarthy to try to motivate your team? Did you see Hard Knocks?
I did.
Okay, then. Did you see his motivational skills?
Yeah, we're going to speak on those in a little bit. And I'm going to get real motivated to talk about how unmotivating he is. And yet, I don't care. Maybe they should fly me in to light a fire in the pregame. I could light one.
I bet you Jason Garrett was more motivational than
I don't. I honestly don't. I think he's worse.
No way. No way, Skip.
I've heard some of those, and it's like vanilla. At least this is a little vanilla with some attempted whipped cream. It's fake.
At least Jason Garrett was vanilla. Yours is vanilla extract.
Really?
Yours ain't even real vanilla. It's extract.
Well, you could be right, but we will win the East in spite of our coach. We will win the East. That's all I care about. We will win the East. That means you get a home playoff game, and that means I will win like 100 cases of dew from you.
I'm counting on you starting.
Who laughs last.
What about, I need to know somebody. So what's the analogy about who cries last? Because that's what you're going to be doing. You're going to blame, and I don't know who you're going to blame it on this time because 8-8 Jason Garrett is out of there. Last year it was because Dak didn't get hurt. Dak got hurt. And if Dak hadn't got hurt, you would have won the division. Not all your pieces are going to be there. You're going to lose the division. Who will you blame this time?
Nobody. will need to blame nobody. I got this. We got this. Later.
Okay.
I can't believe you compared the Cowboys to Bishop Sycamore. That was a low blow, Shannon.
Hey, Jenny, wait a second. Wasn't yesterday a special day?
It was my birthday.
Happy belated birthday.
Wow, thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that, guys. I wasn't expecting it.
We got confetti.
Yes.
Thank you.
Happy
Thank
birthday,
you.
home team.
Thank you. I really appreciate that from both of you. Skip, Shannon, thank you.
What'd you get?
Thank you.
What'd you get?
Say that again?
What'd you get? What'd you
A
get?
couple things. Got some new workout gear because I work out as hard as you,
Okay.
Shannon. Skip, you too. Maybe, a new watch coming someday. Hopefully. Trying to compete with you, Shannon. Thank you both.
Happy
very
birthday,
much.
home team.
Thank you, guys. I will have some cake later. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.